Hello, welcome back to the GLL Season 3 Finals, coming to you live from Stockholm. I'm your host, Frankie Ward, and I'm delighted to be joined by Toffees, by Scoom, and by some guy called Avenger.
I love that
you're not on camera, but you're doing some serious finger guns.
I love that you did
like
the call. He scoomed you. Scoom!
I'm copying Pansy. I'm
Oakland,
doing
man.
my finest Pansy impression. Do the finger guns again. Go on, Martin.
Got him.
No, you got me. Shot me in the chest.
Quality analysts here at GLL.
Yeah, but
Now,
that's the reason we need 3 analysts, because the poor quality, right? So because we're so poor quality analysts, we need 3 guys to make up for the poor quality.
Is that your favorite weapon, the finger gun? Is that what you...
No, definitely not. My favorite weapon is M4.
your favorite weapon's the M4.
Correct.
Scoom.
Groza.
Groza.
Wow.
Groza is
Yeah.
life. Groza is still love. And Toffees.
I'm an AWM man, start to finish. With the
Yeah, but the problem is you
with the
never get
15.
them.
Well, I
Wow.
make you give it to me,
Well,
and then we
true.
put work
Yeah,
in.
that's true.
I like
That's
a barrel. That's my late
You
nan's
do?
name. I like a barrel on Sanok.
We can't be friends.
It's just because it was my nan's name. I'm more of a midi 14
Fair.
girl. But let's ask the experts what their favorite weapon in PUBG is, because we've got a video with some of the players.
Okay, my favorite weapon is definitely the M4 or the AK.
The ARM, because it can change the game completely, and it's the best gun in the game, in my opinion.
I would say AK or M4.
M24, because you can now find it in like normal loot, and it's just the best gun in the game.
Favorite weapon, it used to be Scar, but not anymore. I think Mini or SLR, because they are just literally like best guns in the game, so that's why.
Car 98, just hitting someone in the head once and they're knocked or dead.
So my favorite weapon is the Car 98 because sniping has always been my thing. It's my favorite.
Car 98, because it's so fun to shoot with that gun.
M4 just because I think it has the best recoil control and stuff like that. It's just like the best gun in my opinion.
He always looks so sad when he talks.
You know, yeah, I will tell you why. It's because he's not going to be able to play in the NPL.
That's true. He'll
That's
never
why.
get that feeling like at
Yes.
WSOE when all of Tempo Storm just like looked at him lovingly, and the end is here. It's so sad. So sad.
Yeah, feels sad, man.
We
Feels
need
bad,
to
man.
bring the hype back, guys.
Yeah.
We're so sad.
Well,
We're so
okay,
sad.
so here's the
So,
thing. We're sad for these guys,
Yeah.
okay, because they aren't old enough to play in the Pro League yet. But they are going to be the hottest free agents on the market in the near future. So for some of them, we've talked to Vegas. He's like, this might actually be good for me in the long run because I'm going to keep my training up. I'm going to keep putting in work. And
Yeah.
then in 6 months, when teams are looking to make that one little change that takes them to the next level, well, hey, Vegas just turned 18 and he's still one of the best players in the world. There's a great contract opportunity. So I think that this could work in their favor potentially.
And Vegas also has got an awesome dad. His
Yeah.
dad, Scott, is so cool. We met
Super
him
supportive.
earlier, came and spoke to all of us. Apparently, he's been watching me on stream.
Yeah, well, he said, okay, so you heard him in that video earlier. We talked about Unreal Tournament and how it came out before he was even born. Vegas got his start because like his dad played Unreal and I think GTA and some other games, and like he would just sit on his lap and his dad would let him play with the controller and sort of like experience the game as a tactile thing early on. And so it's one of those like, this is the first, we finally hit that age where we're starting to see early adopters, which is literally like 3 and 4 year olds just sitting on their dad's knee learning to play video games. And it's a pretty cool thing to see.
I feel like I'm really disappointed in my dad now. I feel like I could be a pro PUBG player
You could have
if
been
my dad had educated me properly. But let's move on from that, because you actually want to educate us all now, Toffees, don't you? With something you're calling the Space Shuttle Push.
I mean, it's so, I talk about momentum, right? And I think we'll use Old Liquid as sort of an example of this because they're still very good at it, but I think you fine-tuned it at one point. This idea that pushes are all about momentum, knowing when and where to sort of jettison things, stop momentum, know when you're going full power. So I sort of envision a space shuttle, pushing out of the atmosphere. You go in on full force, you've got everything behind you, but as things start to burn out, as you run out of gas, you sort of jettison those tanks. As you start to run out of space, you get rid of the extra stuff. And teams need to know when to do that. When they say we're losing the momentum on this push, we're not going to win it. We've lost one person. Having the discipline to say, call it off, jettison the guy in the back. One person go find somewhere safe to hang out, get us a position, and we saw that in the last game. Liquid on that push fell apart. They split up immediately, and we saw Samty laying in the grass behind a burned out car, got them, I think, to 4th place in that one?
Third place.
And that's what you want, is the bad games still have to be good games in terms of placement.
Yeah, for sure. You have to think about survival mode.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things. And a lot of teams always fully commit. And they completely forget about survival point and then just they dive 15th place, 14th place, whilst they could back off and get these maybe top 5 placements. That Liquid are really known for.
We saw that with Team Ready. I believe it's Sigmo that survived 4 placements by not initiating a fight. And those 4 placements is potentially, 100 points in the top 7 there, from 11th to the 7th place. So you get a lot of points from that. And I think that discipline is, obviously when you're in snake mode, you're salvaging, you have to be disciplined like that. But especially when you're 3 or 4 guys initiating a fight, you need to know when to get the thrusters off the space shuttle.
When it's also Gaxi and Miramar. Let's jump back to that game real fast, right? Envy made a really smart play. They left a sniper on the northern island so that they could cross the water safely while that sniper held Liquid back from getting the kills. Gaxi realized that, took out the sniper so that he guaranteed now Envy gets eliminated and a Vanguard gets eliminated, and I move up 2 positions and rack up some extra kills. So it's not just about knowing when to stop and jettison, but also knowing when it's time to stop hiding in the shack and when it's time to sort of go for those positional kills.
And a team that has been incredibly good at placement, which is why we're seeing them at the top of the pile at the moment, is Accelerate Gaming.
Yeah.
And I really knew very little about these guys before this LAN. So I'm wondering, Scoom, can you fill me in? Who are these people?
I mentioned them at the very beginning of this cast, actually, that they're the one to look out for because they've been a rising team in the EU scene. They formed back after PGI, the Alesta, the EU qualifiers. They were with initially with Fake and Rafi in Team Oin, or One. And they decided to do a full Finnish roster after that, and they grabbed Trifelli and Squeaky. So they made a full Finnish roster, and they've slowly been building and finding themselves one of the top teams in EU. And I think every team in EU acknowledged that, but they're not that known. They're not that known to the wider world and the NA teams. And they're showing up right now.
They found synergy, and I think they're doing something that not a lot of teams are doing right now, which is late rotations. Orangle's kind of become the opposite of Miramar. Everyone wants that middle spot. And Orangle late rotations are sort of the off thing, and that's what they're doing, and they're doing it very effectively.
Well, we've got 2 more maps left for you guys today. Don't forget that we've got 2 days after this one. 2. Martin over in the corner is going 2. And I'm wondering whether... Oi! Excuse me!
I was just saying 2.
Don't be disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I won't come to you again after this next time.
Right.
I am just joking because we've got 2 legends we're going to head over to right now. He's still doing 2s in the corner. It is, of course, Moses and The Sims.
Richard. Thank you so much. That is indeed true. I am WTF Moses, joined by The Sims, and we are here ready for the game number 3 on today. Game number 4 on today as we move through Erangel. We've just seen the first of what will be many games on that map, as well as we saw FaZe take their first victory.
Yeah, I think it could be the first of many FaZe victories as well. I mean, it was, I have to kind of say, it was very textbook. You know, Toff is touching a little bit. It looks a tiny bit like a pub game. It was textbook FaZe.
Yeah.
Follow the circle, follow the edge, extend your lead into it, move into the circle. It did kind of go in their way towards the end. I give them that. But again, you have to give them credit where credit's due. The fact that they start in Mill to Power, they're ending all the way up the north end of the map, and they're winning it with, what, 3 players alive?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the FaZe mantra. I mean, I'm not sure if there's any basketball fans out there, but the San Antonio Spurs, very, very paced game. They just choke everybody out slowly. It doesn't happen in a flash. They don't make too many mistakes, and they just plod through the game. And before you know it, they've got total map control. There's only 3 teams left, and they're on the precipice of winning.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, fair enough. I would make a regular football reference, but I wouldn't know any. So
I don't watch football either.
Okay, well,
have you seen this body? You do not get this body with playing sport.
There's no sports fans in a giant room of nerds. Okay, well, fine. I guess I'll just be. I'm
PUBG esports, Moses. It's the only sports
They're
we're
very
here for.
consistent. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. All right, they're very consistent, and you know what? We've seen that time and time again from them. But really, the story now is Accelerate. They've been so good at being active. They're, I think, a little bit more on the flashy side. They're hitting those headshots. They're sniping. They're moving around, and they're now tied for first place.
It's pretty wild to see.
You made a mess everywhere.
I have made a mess. I've dropped all my notes, and there's crap everywhere. I'm sorry to the GLL staff who have to clean this up. I'm not actually. It's not crap. It's actually good notes here. There's information within these.
It looks good with all spread over the floor.
Look, all right. I'm helping you do your job by passing you these notes. Can you tell me exactly
this is
how
just
much?
a picture of you.
This is what I call my wacky jacky sheet.
Oh my God!
This is literally the wacky jacky sheet.
It's just a graph.
It's just a graph of numbers, digits,
and squiggly lines. Oh, you actually drew a little. What is this guy?
This is where the bullet damage is.
Oh my
and the
God!
drop off of the bullet damage.
You couldn't just print something off?
No, these are my mental notes.
Okay.
I have to put what's up here.
Definitely mental.
Yes, I'll happily. Look, can you tell me how many bullets it takes to kill somebody with a shotgun?
Pellets?
Yeah.
7.
I don't know.
I thought that was on the page. I thought it was a test.
No, we're just talking crap and hoping you won't go with it, but never mind. Yes, the fourth map of today is just kicking up. As you can see, the little player on the end there is very happy. He's giving you a wave. Make sure you wave back. Oh, and a random,
I think he's
kind
stretching.
of Avenger-type smile there. No, it's definitely a wave.
Okay, I wasn't paying
I know
attention.
you can't be mental, but not that. I did see that.
I wasn't paying attention.
There you go. Get off your phone.
I'm
tweeting
actually
things.
talking to the chat right now.
You don't have fans.
I have dozens of fans.
Did you? What does the WTF stand for?
Why tempt fate? I was in the
Did you used to play for them?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
Before I was picked up by Team Reciprocity, who left me behind when they got signed. I was on the Wikipedia. It counts.
Just once. Apologies for the delay, guys. This will be up and running any second, but it will be Erangel again. I'm sure you're all happy to see. It's nice to see Miramar here. It's definitely a different game altogether. These players, some of them are pretty good at it, some of them are pretty bad at it, to be honest. It's a completely different ball game altogether. You know, and that's what we like to see. You can't just keep playing one map over and over again. You have to live and learn. You have to adapt. You have to get right what you get wrong, and unfortunate things can happen. Some teams have been failing it massively throughout the season, but it is all about consistency. These teams are here because they've been the best bunch so far across both maps. But Erangel, I'd certainly think so far it's give us some better circles. Let's say the least.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we're all comfortable. Not just the players, but the casters, everybody. We've seen Erangel for so long, and we're about to have another map in the rotation. It is heavily anticipated that we will see the snow map revealed and then released tomorrow on the test server, so I'm excited for that. I think it's probably the worst kept secret so far for PUBG, but
Vikendi.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
lots of snow.
I don't want to upset anyone with pronunciation, so as far as that is concerned, we're on some changes here coming to PUBG. The big patch coming as well, some rank changes. It's all moving in an interesting direction. But now, I guess the question for me, at least with this tournament, is who's kind of the question mark, the maybe slow to start. For me, it seems to be Team Ready. They had a pretty decent run through the season. They have had some controversy in the past, and now it's their first appearance. Hasn't been going very well.
I mean, when you look about that, there's several different stories there around. One of them being that could this be a LAN jitters? You know, it's a different ball game, different environment. You're not sat at home in your basement or in your bedroom, wherever you play your computers with your cat, your dog, and your little your heater, and your wireless connection that gives you about 6 billion ping because you shouldn't be paying on wireless connection.
Whatever's required.
Yeah, well, whatever works, so to speak. And then you've got people like Fizz, and you've got people like Liquid, who time and time again just jump into LAN and absolutely batter people left, right, and centre. You've got to be playing up against these, and you've got to play up to their level of game. And if you don't, unfortunately, you're going to crap out and you're going to come bottom of this competition. This is, I think it's fair to say, the last major event before PEL begins.
This would be the last one. I mean, we are right at the doorstep of the professional league starting on both North America and in Europe. The Asian and Korea leagues already ongoing, but we are now in the plane, and the plane is moving. We are starting in the lower left, moving to the top right, and we are underway here. Second game on Erangel of the day. We've got one more to go after this one. And now we're going to see, I imagine, the status quo for drop strategy. We didn't see anything too crazy in the first game on Erangel.
West to east, I can get it right this time. I can actually say it, and heading in a northerly direction, ending around Kameshki, starting just on the corner off the shores of Primorsk. And you kind of hit the nail on the head, Moses. Everyone should be able to go to their home turf. Generally speaking, all right, you might have a bit more of a longer drive or a longer drop if you want to be heading over to Georgia Pole. It's slightly shifting more towards that easternly shift. So, again, you'd expect them to get the vehicles, get the cars, get themselves up there. We'll keep an eye, see if we see anything amiss or a little bit weird. Envious already boots on the ground. They've got plenty of vehicles. They're driving in. Millie Base will be there. It's unique. They can do whatever they like. And that circle, first one comes in, she moves towards the Primorsk area, just touching it and through Gaka up on that western coast. So, you got a couple of teams obviously on that side. You do have one team which loots around the Gaka area. They'll be all happy. The teams that kind of move towards the more northernly areas, around, you had a team all the way up at Kameshki, potentially you have one in Severny, they're going to have to do the long rotation. We'll talk further afield when we bring that map up and we go further into this one. But let's quickly talk about this team that we see on screen, Moses Accelerate. They had an absolute banger of a game in that previous round, and some of those shots they were landing was fantastic to see in a LAN environment.
Absolutely. I mean, just their consistency with being aggressive and really the way they fought their way out of the shooting range area to take a dominant position there in the late game. They took their shots on the way there, though. I think they were a little weakened as they got into the end game. I think if they were able to get out of the shooting range without taking so many casualties, that they would have been in a great position to contest FaZe for first overall, but they're doing just that on the leaderboard. They are currently tied with FaZe at 932 apiece. Optic on the back of some terrific, I guess, adaptation to some early adversity in their rotation phase, hanging on to third place with Liquid in tow, and then the middle of the scoreboard definitely a lot closer.
Yeah, to see Hypoc get tanked pretty much first player on the map completely, and then the team split up like they did, to be able to pull it back to that, I mean, fair play to them. You know, that's kind of the old school McCoy kind of player that you see where he just likes to, no, we'll survive, it's not a problem, don't worry about it, Ghost, I've got this one in the bag single-handedly.
Yeah.
Obviously, American caster Moses, you keep a very, very close eye on the NA teams. Some of them potentially don't like it sometimes when you give the honest truth. But Envious, the boys in blue, it's a big org, it's a big name to have within PUBG, and they've got some really big hitters on the team. How do you think they'll fare in this competition?
I think that Envy has been good on paper for a long time, but their ability to execute sometimes comes into question. They do well in, I think, easier lobbies. But when it comes to that high-quality, 100% competitive lobby where everyone has proven themselves in their own arena to come here, I think they maybe get a little bit nervous, maybe a little indecisive. We've seen them kind of come to a stop a little bit too often, either in rotation or in the late-game situation. They get a down, everything just comes to a halt. The utility goes out, and then there's nothing coming on top of that. There's no game plan. I'm not sure what... Oh, Gaxi. Surprise.
I don't think he expected it.
It sounded like a sack of potatoes hitting the ground. Well, that's that. As Gaxi gets hit by a literal truck. As that's Team Ready picking up the first.
He just had a look at this cat, just banked it.
Oh. Well, that's PUBG, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you just get hit by a car.
Oh, that was funny. Feels bad, man.
But yeah, for Envy, I think they have the talent. They've brought in a veteran presence with Interrogate. I was not surprised. There it is.
He didn't expect it. He just didn't expect it.
He just came around the corner, and the welcoming party was there, and that's that. So, but yeah, Envy, I think they have all the tools. It's just a matter about putting rubber to pavement.
Yeah, there was a certain point, I think, even to a further extent, you can see it with them. At the very start, it was always, you know, Caden and Venerated, kind of the poster boys for North America. Obviously, you know, it'd be cruel not to shout out some of the other boys that were in there, fair play. Zampa being one of them.
You know what? For Venerated, I got to give him a specific shout out. He always tells me I gloss over when I'm talking about Envy. Venerated, you're a terrific player. There you go. That's what you get.
Thing is, though, if you were to do that about everyone who complained about you, you'd be doing a massive list.
You know what? Venerated, he's nicer to me about it. And that's what I'll say. The rest of you can, you know, pound sand.
Is what it is.
Is what it is.
Is what it is. Liquid, usual spot for Yaz Naya. No one else tends to come in here. We did see, I think it was back at PGI. One team was constantly sharing with them. You can earn a squeeze if two other teams dropped here. Don't get me wrong, it's an awful thing, and you're going to struggle for loot a little bit, but a third team might be able to potentially squeeze in here where you won't have to start off an engagement. You get something, at least take a fight if you need to. But once again, it's theirs. They're all alone, doing the normal thing. Move across Pachinki, the wonderful land that is United. No one's going to be challenging them whatsoever. I was expecting, I've got to say, for Dignitas, that they, and again, this is, you've got to weigh up your options, right? Because they're another team that usually likes to play Severny and so on and so forth. Now they've been pushed back to school, for me, between 4 players. Loot's not going to be great. All right, you've got apartments. You can see Purdy's already going to be left behind to continue looting through if he doesn't have his level 2s, even level 1, so to speak, especially if you're coming out of the school area. But again, to be pushed out of Severny will do damage. Do you think they'll have practiced this one, Moses, as a secondary backer? Do you think they've done the research and know, okay, Besiktas will be going in Severny, so we have to find somewhere else that's free?
It's possible. I mean, you have to be flexible in these instances. You can't assume that it's kind of that scrimming period, not something that we get to broadcast. Oh, Hugstar is just he's slow. He's slowing down. It looks like we have the culprit there. It's the motorcycle. He's crawling back to maybe get revenge, but he's going to have to get res. It's going to be Deegs coming in to save him. But yeah, I mean, we don't get to see the scrim period live, but that's typically what decides who gets where, and it is a bit of a battle there in the beginning. But there is some. That's the most sportsman-like period of all PUBG is the initial looting phase. Not a lot of upside to getting in those early fights, but having a backup plan is something we talk about all the time. FaZe has one. Everyone that has that initial period of being potentially contested in first place, you can't just assume that you're always going to get that loot spot for free. Basic Sauce, speaking of which,
they've got off the
yeah, they've stopped. And it's going to be Liquid getting the heat.
Could have been some warning shots up there. Both teams rotating side by side. This isn't the fight that we were just mentioning.
This is Vegas.
Vegas and are united on the rotation. You can see there. Look at that northern edge of that circle. Besiktas and Liquid side by side.
That's a big choke point right there, too. James has come to a stop. He's taken some fire, but I don't think this is where he wants to call home. He has got Besiktas coming in hot behind him. And Beats has actually stopped right there. So now this is Besiktas now getting in turn shot at. Simsy's trying to sneak up past, and he's not going to make it. James will find him with that long-distance Scar shot being finished off there by the Mini. And that's pro gaming. And for Simsy,
hey, I'm sorry, but that's punishment. You poke the bear, you get the closet with Besiktas, who were the first to disengage the vehicles and take a few pop shots. So the warning shots came out to Liquid. It's like, I'll tell you what, boys. You know, you want to go. Play with the best, get done like the rest. He's down, he's dead, 16 points moved away of Liquid.
Optic, too, coming in behind. Optic is going to follow the same path.
Are we going to have Accelerate as well, or will they go to one of the opposing bridges?
So it looks like Liquid has decided they want to set up a choke here, and they're going to do just that. But Optic, again, is now finding themselves in a very similar situation they did last game with Valiant coming along the bridge. No one waiting there. Team Ready not going to play the spoiler. They've gone middle, but look at that middle. It is jumbled right up.
There is so many teams, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams all going center. Unique, top of the hill, Kings of the Mountain for now. Giganton, Electric Giant in English down at the bottom. Unfortunately, will be pushed into the house. Vax all tanked up. At least he can get his health back. He can just sit freely for now. No one necessarily around Unique. They got themselves a good position here. They're on the crest of the hill. They just need to be aware of anybody pulling up behind them, because that's what could be the problem. A little bit of open ground. You do have these rocks and trees to move as they go further afield. So it's happy days for these guys. Let's look a little further afield as we see Sampty. Bauha, he will decide to move it across the bridge, but there's some bullets coming in, some opposing fire. I think that's from the other side. They just copped the back of his leg. Pack caps, we'll see one. Voxic, he gets away with his life, skims the tail edge. Texas as well. M24.
Not quite.
If it had hit that, it would have hit the world. It would have been the absolute dream of a shot. He'll get away on the bike for that one. So here comes the rotation. This is what it's all about now. Getting on the map, getting where you want to be, because all the prime locations, Moses, smack bang in the center of that circle, it's super busy. And finally, Bawa, he's down. He's not dead. But James will have eyes on the prize with that Mini.
I was wondering if Liquid was going to set up and wait for teams to continue to cross. As Kramer and the Knights he fell out. He bailed out trying to get away from that exploding vehicle. And he's going to get taken down by Max over that long distance, the M24. Again, we've seen so many good snipes from him this game. But look at this Optic. Woes continue in rotation in the early game, no less, where they just can't get out of Rozhok without losing a player. Looks like Baja might survive, but this vehicle's not going to survive, and they're going to be stuck here.
He'd be trying to draw some attention to maybe get them look outside the window. So Jimbo might have been able to get another pick. He'll have lost his helmet inside there. You would have expected to. The vehicles have been null and voided.
Valiant's going to... Oh, boy. This is looking good for Valiant. He's got a great line of sight. 2 on the bike. He's got 1 down. That's Jempty. And he's trying to get more. Samty, the twins. And it's just going to be one brother leaving him behind as Samty's going to try and escape. He's got that motorcycle almost completely damaged. And Valiant will sneak up and take one back from Liquid. A little bit of a revenge for Baja Waka, who's also been rezzed.
That was dirty. They had no idea. He crept up so...
They didn't see him. Valiant was split off by himself. Remember, he was coming along the bridge. He might have jumped off, made his way around. And he does get a casualty from Liquid, who will lose one early.
Some of the teams in the center have kind of found the feet a little bit more and distanced themselves from other oppositions who are lurking around there. FaZe will take themselves a nice little hill. Right smack bang on the top of it, pulling the vehicles back. You can see hiding behind the rocks. Make sure they keep the wheels alive so they can stay mobile for when the circle does shift, because she can be quite cruel. If they do get a hard shift, Vanga have now worked their way in. I saw Maxi had the M24, so an upgrade from the previous round with the K9. But again, you're just giving that boy even more firepower. Circle shift, and she goes all the way down south. Good God.
We can hear it in the whole room. Whenever we see a circle shift, everyone just starts yelling to each other. And this is another hard shift headed down to the Primorsk side.
No one was in there.
And there
Everyone
was,
had moved
there
out
was
of
nobody
Britain.
there. So it looks like the Knights are going to have actually a clear line, but this is a situation now where unless you started in Primorsk and you've left it, you have to assume it's now occupied, or at least potentially occupied, and you can't just crash in there. So we'll see if teams decide they want to head to Primorsk proper. But this is the result of the hard shift, is the great migration of all the players here in the game, as Avangar and Envy sharing the laneways as they head south.
Everybody just flying down. Avanga, Envy. Two of the teams are directly above them as well. They've got to be careful. FaZe, here
They've
they
stopped
come.
here. This is what I'm talking about with Envy.
Oh, are FaZe going to hit them?
They might decide they want to hang out in the woods, or maybe there's too many people coming this way. Envy has completely changed course. Someone's made the call here to stop and turn around as NBS receiving fire from Red Diamonds. It's best of luck with the M4, taking some long-distance shots. He's taking lots of damage. Will he make it into town and into safety? It looks like he may not. Oh, Sid grabs him. And, oh, maybe he might be able to crawl to safety, but he's got no help coming, as NBS and NIP are going to maybe find themselves out of the game. Or, well, at least for NBS out of the game.
There's players driving his way, but unfortunately, they're from other members of another team. Fuzzface still flying about. 24. Can he land this shot? Maxi, he cannot. Goes for it. Well, he goes for a second one. It is in the background. He's going to try and get it lined up. We move across to Texas, so we'll find individual players lurking just up on the side of the quarry. And again, this is now where it's a matter of finding the best possible solution to all these players that are going to be just migrating and flocking from that northern edge.
This is crazy.
Optic and Liquid.
Yeah, they've decided that they don't want to play that game just yet. Maybe they want to come in a little bit later, spend some extra time looting. I don't think that Optic was able to get out of that engagement unscathed. They're probably looking for more armor, more helmets. And look at that. That's now Miracu, as NIP is taking casualties early in this game. Purdy Curdy finding himself a frag.
It's the second one down, I believe, for NIP. We saw someone fall in the garage earlier on. Still Voxic. Trying to find some faces at range. Just in the little quarry mining house, or the admin hut, whatever you want to call it. Sid, NBS,
that
finally bleeds out. So that's the one we were talking about earlier on inside the garage. So that's definitely 2 dead confirmed for NIP. 8C onto Vegas. Where's that fight unfolding? Is that FaZe from a distance? I think it is.
I was wondering what FaZe's game plan was. I think they took this hill just outside of Primorsk to the northern side. And United, oh no, it's the little compound just outside of Primorsk. So not quite on the hill, but still a strong spot to hold. Got that indoor cover. They've got a line onto Vegas. Potential res coming there.
I think more importantly, it's where it's positioned, because wherever this circle goes, they're in easy pickings of it. They're in a stone's throw. If you go down to Prim, you run the risk of being boxed in.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. I mean, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 players.
You can't go into Primorsk proper almost. You can see how almost all these teams. Yeah, well, they're outside. They're outside.
They've got to run a
Primorsk.
gauntlet.
Yeah, they have to cut. Well, again, we assume the circle is going to shift north at some point. So for Unique, FaZe, and Wildcard, they find themselves closer to center with the quarry there playing that center point. And entering the quarry, again, is just not an option this early unless the circle indicates it's going to end there. So for Dignitas, I like the fact that they're taking that northern side.
Just as a side note as well, Optic actually got the res. I thought they'd lost one in that early
they got
engagement, but
by
they got the... So they got a 4-man squad coming in strong. That'll be the West Coast road they can take. Down on the yellows, you do see a player from Team Diamond, so they'll be able to set up shop for now. All vehicles intact, all players still living, alive and kicking, whether or not they picked up helmets, because both teams, them and Liquid, did stop just at the top in George, so they might be able to pick something up. Liquid have done this before, where they rotate from the blue. You can see on the right-hand side, Ibby and Jimbo, top corner, they sent Sapti off to be the scout, to be the sacrificial sheep, so to speak. If he dies, at least, okay, well, don't come here.
Well, he's got the crate loot, too.
Oh, he has, yeah. So be able to take a few more bullets than normal. Fair play.
So we'll see if Liquid is able to translate that crate loot into a bit of an advantage. They've already lost one very early in that flank by Valiate. And
Accelerator really hoping that the circle goes there, otherwise they put themselves in a terrible position.
Right.
Just a matter of seeing where this one goes. I mean, it could go center, and it could force everyone to move, which again alleviates some amount of pressure that are going to be down in Prim. Sid gets instantly spotted by High Pocket, would assume. Takes him down to 50 HP.
We're staying south. That's another full shift down south. As now that northern side is going to become a bloodbath, as there's now, I think that's almost 7 teams outside the zone. So that's going to be another complete shift all the way south. Primorsk and the quarry going to be the focal point.
Here's me saying Accelerate in a terrible position. They probably just got one of the best in the game. And that's the story of PUBG Circles.
As she goes.
SKS from Lux. has had a good game so far with the sniper, especially on Miramar. Careful. Some of those beautiful shots from the windows that have been doing. Silenced on the back as well. Ultra's there. Get in the car. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go.
Samty making his way through the cannonball run.
NIP gone.
That's a tough loss, man. That's very early. We're only 17 minutes into this game. NIP completely eliminated.
I thought they had 3. I thought they had 2 alive, not 1. Oh, of course, he got run over at the start.
Yeah, that's just a bad. That's bad luck.
It really is.
Unluck. That was. Can't remember who it was. Just got clocked with the vehicle. Gaxi.
I'll take a look out. Oh no, I'm dead.
That's that. EB, James coming in behind Samty. They're taking the same route, so calling is clear. Ooh, EB actually taking a shot there from Noctiv. Oh no, what happened to James? He's had to stop. He's now having to regain his speed, but he's in woe here, and that is going to be it for James. He's caught out Liquid. Also having tough times in rotation. Noctiv playing the gatekeeper here, and now Samty. It's Snoopy finding him on the edge. But wow, that's tough for Liquid. They're taking so much damage. That's Rustinmar getting him down. Liquid's here in trouble. He's going to try and finish him off before someone can steal it, and he will not get it as Snoopy will reach out and grab Samty. And Liquid facing elimination here early as well.
Optic took the pickings initially, then Anvangar find 2 as well. So 1 individual player for Team Liquid now.
Careful.
Not having the best of games here in our second map of Erangel. All the boys in Blue Envy, they see Sharp Shot and the rest of Wildcard Gaming here up on the hill. They'll be looking down the barrel. Unfortunately, 4 times in the back of the minutes, they'll be able to hold them. They are outside the zone. Really, if they go north, okay, you can play off the bottom edge of the quarry, but you're going to have Dig that are going to be looking down upon you. Team ready. This is a nice wide flank behind
Where are they going to go? There's nowhere to.
I mean, they've got Eleganton and Avangard directly in front of them. This could be Max's time to find a headshot. All these players are going to come flying right by him. This is a choke point and a half.
I've been liking the play of Avangard so far.
They've stopped. And they're dead.
Avangard coming online. They're running now full speed, trying to get around and find the angle onto Elgig as they've come up the side of this hill. Why are they moving? Where are they going? They're worried about maybe the vehicle. Avangard is disengaging from this.
They could have completely killed all of them.
Well, maybe they heard me.
Wow. All right, so they just disengaged from that one. That was their points to take, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was very passive maneuver here, but look at this wildcard. Now it's got a nade prime. Kickstart chucks it, comes right down in the center. Is it close enough? It does damage Caden, but doesn't take anyone down. Interrogate moving up closely, and now Venerated there to follow. More nades coming. Envy is out in the open, but it's a 1-to-1 battle. There's not cover to work with. It's all about skill and aim.
Picks up the trade there. Venerate falls. We'll get the finish on Tumai. He's dead. 16 points to Envy. Pack caps Interrogate. They fall simultaneously back to back. I think it's a 3-on-1, maybe a 3-on-2.
Envy's losing this one from the looks of a wildcard getting the upper hand. That flashbang land, Sharp Shot, still 3 upper wildcard. Envy down to only 1, and look at all these getting finished. Caden running for the hills. He's completely lost it, and he's got to get away, but the blue is there. He takes 1 off the back of the head from Sharp Shot, and this is not looking good again for Envy, facing elimination.
If he falls, that'll be a 14th place, and all the members... Oh, they're pushing up. They want him. Look at that. They're going for it. They have the edge of the circle as well. They don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about people behind you. 2 players want to find Cade, and they want to sniff out this final player of Envious, seal the deal.
They know where he's at.
They know exactly the vehicles. There's only one place you're going to be hiding. He was watching on that left-hand flank. Others cop for him. He's down. He's dead. Envious is gone. 15th place. Another poor performance.
Wow. That sucks. I mean, we talked about this at the beginning. The decision-making there from Envy to commit to an open fight there on the south, or the eastern side of the zone. They came across wildcard. You could see Venerated in the forward position, but we didn't see the rest of the team come online. Now, of course, that's easy to say for us as we're watching the nades landing all around. Caden takes that early damage, but that's just a bad performance there from Envy. It sucks.
This is one of those circles where you would have expected it. Even me as a caster, I'd have said, yes, this definitely has to go north. And the amount of southerly shifts and the fact that it's stuck southern may have kind of caught a few people off guard. But again, this is why when it comes to the best, they have to adapt and learn how to adapt and know how to adapt to these circles, regardless where it's going to appear on the map. Now, finally, Prim is out of boundaries. It does move north and goes more toward the quarry edge. We do have Dig up there. We do have Unique up there. You can't really fit another team in there. You might be able to squeeze Wildcard Gaming in, but you probably wouldn't expect them to be able to make it over the open field. But this is where Longwoods now becomes a massive problem. And it's going to be ducking, diving, weaving throughout these tree lines.
Lux taking a look around, trying to survey the scene. Sixmo getting caught by Avangard. They've been playing the strikers. We're going to see Iroh go down. I don't think we've seen any kills other than, I think it was Gaxi getting hit by the truck early on. But for Team Ready, they're struggling here. Merkengore, he's got +1 on that bike. EB not ready to engage. He doesn't want to reveal his position. I believe he is the last man standing for Liquid, so Optic, wow, getting picked apart from all sides.
That's 3 players down. They had one go down earlier on at the start, so that's Bawaka finished. So one should be alive somewhere, and one should be crawling.
Yeah, and that's Valiate, so looks like Hypoc stuck in the shack. Oh, no, they do have one left. Down south, I can see. That's the Hetror actually outside the zone.
Who else would it be?
Yeah, who else would it be? Why take fights? And now, for Besiktas, they're actually making a play here to the center as well. But you know what? I'm liking the positioning of E United. They've been playing a factor here, and they've got now Ultra down. Besiktas, Sid, getting interested. You can see the smoke down, trying to see if he's gotten any angles. He's got the mini ready. Here comes the nade. Going to chuck it into the smoke, I imagine. See if he can
Have a
fish.
go, Hero.
That looks actually okay. That's pretty close. Not quite close enough, however. But Sid will take down, actually finish Valiate, who was crawling.
Mexi's just smashed an octave. That's a not going to finish. Valiate, as you say. So 16 points moving one way, 16 points moving to phase. Still lurking in the same position they were before. Best to lock M4 and K9.
Interesting position here from Red Diamonds on the side of this hill. There's a lot of vision coming their way, but they're looking for kills, clearly.
I mean, the positive advantage for this is the fact that they can play the deflator of this if anyone does kind of fire their way. The bullets are only going to come from one way because nobody's behind them.
Look at United. They're getting more and more aggressive towards Besiktas, who's now finding themselves in a bit of a pinch. But Best Luck, like I just said, has line of sight his way. And look at those like laser beams coming in. They're looking for that nice shot there as Tamil will go down to a EU United nade on the low side of this hill. So Tamil is now, I think he's done there.
Tomil, can't blame me, mate, unfortunately. Grenade goes his way.
There's another one. Pistola Time takes down Sid, and United has come all the way over. They're still in a split. They're watching that southern side to see if Optic or anyone else comes encroaching, and they're going to get the zone once again. There's only a few teams now inside, Unique being one of them, the last man from Liquid being Ibiza, and Team Ready.
All right, interesting one about this circle. Oh, Ibby's gone. 14th place for Team Liquid. Damn, that's a feels bad, man. But this circle, there is no one dead center. This now will be a bit of a land grab. You can see the Knights are already going for it. They've got the vehicles. Let's go get stuck in, boys. Let's move forward. Let's at least take some kind of compound because Unique are on the opposing side. On the edge of the circle, very edge on the northern side, we will see Dignitas. But again, I very much doubt any of these teams around the southern area go for a land grab. They don't really have the vehicles. They don't have the map to be able to move around and be able to give themselves enough cover. FaZe, they do have the biggest gap. FaZe might be able to interject themselves into this. They find Trifelli. He was causing them problems in the last game, but now Fuzzface, he gets the revenge. Best of luck. He's down and dead. That's 16 points moving the way of the person that picked him up. But Sid and the rest
I love the
Red Diamond.
I love the vision here from United. They've got this great little hilltop. They've got direct line of sight onto Red Diamond, but they're all getting pressure from behind. So I'm wondering where those shots are actually originating from. That might be Lux with the SKS.
It's certainly distant. I think even they're a little bit confused as to where it goes. Finally, Drayden moving in. The Knights have been rewarded for their push.
This phase compound is playing dividends now.
They rotated in and got themselves bunkered in then.
Squeaky going down. 2 left standing from Optic. But they really Accelerate, who has the tougher rotation. They're on foot. They've got the smokes down. They've got Taylor J raining down fire with the AK. He's trying to maintain fights on 2 angles, but that is going to be so much fire coming in for them. There's nowhere coming. Oh, maybe this nade might steal him a couple of kills.
Some free
one
points.
Bounce into the center, and he will get 1. And Rustenmar is still bleeding out. But that's a nice pickup there for United, picking up another kill. Rustenmar potentially for res. Oh, he's going to loot. He's not going to go for the res on Rustenmar. It's not happening. He may be too late.
No, you got to go. You got to go now. You do it now. No, fam.
Mikaz. Slow to res, but he will collect the loot at the very least.
Unless he was just literally leaving him to
it's possible.
Get he might have just been getting all the smokes. We're completely wrong there. Mexi hooks up. Did go down from the zone, but the nade finished him off either way. Ubak comes in as well onto Vac. The rest of them are gone. Elegant, and they are dead to rights.
Unique looking down at the Knights. Texas stuck in the shack. Fuzzface now out of the zone, taking some fire from behind. As Unique is just maneuvering around this quarry area quite nicely. Dignitas there sharing some real estate. The nade's coming in. The Knights are kind of trapped here. Not a lot of movement. That nade is almost right on top of them, but they're bouncing just out of harm's way. That divot playing the savior.
2 teams just drilling you.
Comes another one.
Like, this is not
quite.
This is definitely a feels bad, man. Hetra, the zone.
Nade after nade landing on top of them. IPOC stuck in the zone too, actually. He's got United zoning him out, and that's going to be an Optic going down, yep.
Point him out.
Another
down he
northern
goes.
shift. This zone has all these teams on a string here. It's pulling them north, it's pulling them south as FaZe continues to rack up kills, now with 7.
This is scary because it feels like FaZe have finally woken up and they've got 4 players alive. But I'll tell you what, United could be their downfall here. Mikas looks like he's going to be healing outside the zone. A doozy onto Pride. That's the knock in the finish.
This looks like United wants to go at FaZe here on the southern side.
Look at those tracers.
Pew.
You can see the angles that people do
United
have.
wants it. They're going for it. We'll see who gets the opening frag here. Geist is already down. And here comes Taylor J. You can hear Fuzzface. Here comes the flank, and he will get one down. Taylor J looking for more. He's going to get returned over. He tries to turn, but Mixie will finish him off. Meanwhile, Vegas takes down HC, and Mixie now taking down Pistola time. This is 2 for 2 on both sides. Vegas last man standing, I should say.
All his teammates are just asking for help. Meanwhile, the rest of FaZe is slowly but surely working their way up. Uber just...
They're rezzing too.
Taking him down one by one. I mean, it's always going to be a challenge if you want to push FaZe.
They tried to find the mountaintop there, but the nade goes into the smoke. That might bounce right off of Vegas.
Dear. I think he's dead.
That's that.
Bye-bye.
Well, you gave it your best shot, United, but...
there was an attempt.
There was an attempt. But United gets rebuffed by FaZe, who will now be joined by Mikas.
They're joining in the fight.
He coming right in now, but here comes Besixtas as well. This might now be a pinch for FaZe. They're in trouble.
This is 2 individual teams.
He's not always he's taking circle damage. He's going to have to get up and run. Will they hear him?
Oh, turns.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
It's not. So now it's Besixtas standing in the way. 12 kills for FaZe. 7 teams alive. Shots, ooh,
definitely.
Mixie.
Well, it's giving away his position by doing this.
Yeah, well, there's only one player. Ultra's there. He's waiting in the wings. And he gets another one down. That's Uba down as well. Lux going off now. FaZe is down to 1. Fuzzface throwing out utility left, right, and center. He's got 2 on 1. And now Besixtas looking for blood. They've got 2 down already. Fuzzface has got the molly in defense as well, but he's just going to evade. I think he's going to have to leave his teammates down, and that's 1 down for Fuzzface. Mixie goes down to the zone. Uba gets finished off, so now it's a 1v1 situation here. Will Besixtas come on top of FaZe? Here we go. One more shot, and Ultra will be taken down as Fuzzface saves FaZe's grace, and they will go into the top 6 teams.
And just like that, a little bit of revenge. He did lose 2 of his teammates from that one engagement, but at least seals the deal. Picks up 32 points, 16 per kill. Fuzzface finds another one as well, and at the moment, not only is he picking up points for kill, he's picking them up on placement. He does have to run down the hill in the open. He's got a bush and a tree. Christ knows what he can do with this, but so far, 3 kills back to back to back, just like that.
If he finds a beautiful death in the bush there, that would be 3 teams eliminated by FaZe and a ton of kills as well. They found themselves in the top 5. Well, that's that.
There was a story.
Valiant effort. Valiant effort there.
Yeah, pretty good. Coming off the back of the win, he got himself some kills and got himself up into the top 5 at least. A beautiful death. So far, been a beautiful life as he is still living. Made it to the top 4. Dig now, unfortunately, have to get through 2 teams to get into the circle. This is not going to be easy to breach.
Unique's got all 4 up. They've got the high ground, and they're having to climb the walls of the quarry as Dignitas tries to get up on to a level playing field with the Knights hanging down below. Dignitas in an interesting split here. They, I think, are maybe worried about the low side player from Unique, but they're fishing with grenades. Lands very short. Uncivil and Purdy Curdy coming up on top. Standing, trying to find some vision. This is just a big open field right in front of them on top of this quarry area. Not a lot of cover to work with. Purdy Curdy maybe trying to get all the way across, but that's a long drop as well. I think Unique's got the upper hand here.
They've seen him, so anything they were trying to attempt to do.
There we go.
Okay.
That's the high side taken down. Play with me in the guard tower. Alo finding him.
This will be interesting to see how it plays out, to be honest with you. Now
Well, it's a weird dynamic. They have to decide high or low.
I mean, they've kind of made Unique worried. You can see they've all backed off. Okay, they need to get the res, but the rest of the players have also backed off. They're not holding forward. They're worried. They're concerned. This is a brilliant play from Dig to move into the position off that one knock. I mean, on Unique side, I'd hold my ground, to be honest with you. They do run into a barrage of bullets. They'll at least trade one back. The Knights now want to get themselves involved. Purdy Curdy goes down, so does individual Master. 2 players fall either side.
Uncivil. Alo now left. They did go 1 for 1. We're actually listening to Unique beside us, communicating feverishly. Here come the nade down the hill, trying to find something. That's just a flashbang, however. They do see Uncivil poking his head out, stand-in, looking for that laser beam shot. Can't find it. They're going to rotate around the back and try and flank from above. Not a great angle here. They're going to be exposing only heads and upper bodies, so Uncivil has the opportunity to take 1 or 2 down with him, but the circle closing, they're being forced off the top. It looks like it is 1 left as well in the zone for Dignitas. I believe that is Uncivil up top.
They should have gone when they had time, because now the blue is what's causing them problems. They've been forced into his engagement.
Wow.
Thankfully, the blue damage at least allows him to pick up that kill relatively easy. They are inside. They could maybe get it up rather than... I suppose it's worth it while they do have the smoke up, but he's going to fire through, try and find Halo through that.
It's rough for Dignitas. If they go low, they face the Knights. If they go high, they're basically on an even playing field with Unique with no cover to work with. So Dignitas will get the res, but Texas is getting more and more interested here.
A Beautiful Death's the only person inside the circle.
And he's just chilling.
He's happy.
This is as close as they've been to any level of success here so far, with so much going wrong for Team Ready. They will find a Beautiful Death. A Bushman in the late game. There he is.
Hi, boys.
Hey.
Just chilling, you know, letting everyone...
He lost his backpack as well. He's committed.
He's committed to the cause.
Yeah. The Bush life.
Well,
now it's a waiting
between
game.
These 3 teams, who comes out on top? I think we're only going to see one of them for sure.
Pop him. I don't think he can see out of that. He can't see out of the smoke, I don't think. He's, you know, that's all he can see. Oh, what? Oh my God! All you can see was the silhouette, and he took a shot and landed it as Standen takes one off the dome. Uncivil takes him down with the Car 98.
What in the God's name was that?
That was that's luck right there. I mean, we saw the preview of the smoke. All you can see was just the silhouette of the sky and the player moving, and he just guessed as best he could, and he hit pay dirt.
Sweet. Jesus, that was an unbelievable shot.
Vac, as they say.
Nade's now going to come through. See if they can... Oh, there's a flashbang, so at least better push them back on. It's another smoke. Sorry, excuse me. We're going to see so much from this angle. They're held back.
Oh,
another pick. They're holding them. This is impressive.
They're stuck up there. I mean, this is like I said, they can only expose their head and upper body, and that's a really tough peak because you have to look down, and before you know it, you're getting a shot in the face. And that's another headshot landed from Dignitas onto Unique, who is getting eroded here with their equipment, meds, ammo, everything. So it's even the utilities going down lower and lower as they're throwing nade after nade, trying to displace Dignitas, whereas the Knights are just kind of chilling. They're percolating down at the bottom of the hill. This is the final zone already.
They're piranhas. They're just saying whatever's left, we'll pick them off. It's not a problem.
Might lose another helmet here if Unique's not ready. They're taking a lot of damage here, Richard.
There's only one way for them to go, and that's down. Digger now in a position. This is Unique's downfall because they had all the time in the world. They had all 4 players up, and they stayed there. They committed. They stayed for too long.
Good luck getting down this hill now, really. Oh, there's one. So that's their opportunity. You got to get down this hill now. So then they're going to do just that. But they're being turned on as Alo and Uncivil get finished off by Unique, finally getting off the top of the hill, but just in time to get met by the Knights, who start throwing grenades uphill, trying to find anything, just fishing with dynamite.
Look at all these nades. Hoping to get something. Texas, AKM in hand, crawling around with a red dot, hoping someone falls into the line of sight. And exactly where they're going to be coming from the angle. They can hear the footsteps here.
No meds left for Standen, clearly.
Well, they don't have anything. They've just been smashed so much up there. 7 players, 3-3, and then you got the one in the back.
The circle's closing. This is it. So now it's going to be a matter of who lands shot first. But again, Unique finds themselves in this tough position, having to fight downhill. And here comes another cooked nade.
Up and over.
Well, that's a flashbang. And they found a beautiful death. But that distracted them. And just like that, they're going to start trading. It looks like a 2v1, I believe, as Boxing is downhill. He's taking damage in the open. And Unique will take the victory on the downhill battle with the Knights.
That all came off the back of looking for the snake in the bush.
Yeah.
He turned, he took his attention away, he fired the AKM, which kind of said to the players above, all right, they're fighting with somebody else now.
Just check like that. That's the margin of error in this type of tournament, is just a tiny little distraction, and a necessary one at that. You have to kill that guy. You don't know what a beautiful death is going to be doing to you there.
It did take a lot of bullets. There was he spent a lot, usually it's just like, oh, there's one player in the bush, he's not doing anything, I'll aim for his head and one tap in.
They could have seen him as well, like they're shooting at the other guy.
There was a lot of spraying for that. I know it's only seconds, but those seconds just cost him the game.
It was literally probably a 5-second difference between paying attention to Unique above you and looking down at a beautiful death crawling his way into the zone. And that's PUBG in a nutshell, where just one tiny mistake can cost you a game. But for Unique, they played very well coming all the way down there. But we do have Dave standing by with the interview, so we'll kick it over to him.
All right, I'm here with the winner chicken dinners of game number 4, celebrating right here. I'm with Stand-In. Wow, what a game. First of all, who made the call to go up there on the high ground near Quarry?
Probably play with me or MS. It was a good call. It works.
Yeah, it was a good call. At any point, were you guys worried that you were going to be forced to kind of push up off of that high ground? Come on, be honest.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you guys knew there was a squad near you, kind of like your way down. What was the game plan?
Just kill them.
Okay.
It's always our plan. Just kill people. If you're killing people, you're winning.
Who was? Well, it was you. You were in the smoke, and Uncivil got a knock on you. Yeah. Were you surprised?
Yeah, sure. It was sick. He killed me with car.
Yeah.
It was insane. Yeah.
Through the smoke. Yeah.
Good job.
Good job. And then you guys had to push down off of there. What was it? It was a 2v1 at the end, right? Because you guys got the initial knocks on the Knights. It was a 3v2.
Yeah, but we knew about them, so it was not a problem.
You don't seem worried at all.
We take high ground, and we know we are in good position. And the last dot was on our side, so it was easy ending, I guess.
Was there any kind of turning point this game that kind of set you guys up for that chicken dinner?
I don't know, probably we are now at least third, I guess. Third, I guess.
All right. And we have one more game here today. Let me go to here. You guys gonna get another chicken dinner here?
Of course.
Of course. All right. The confidence over here from Team Unique. Well, hey, we'll let the desk break this one down and kind of give us a rundown on what went right for Team Unique. Frankie.
Thank you very much, Dave. What did go right then for Team Unique, boys? Toffees?
I mean, they fought on a layer cake, right? That whole hill is just one layer after the other, and essentially they got the top slice. That's the one the bride and groom get to enjoy. It's the premium piece, and they did it. And they basically took everyone out below them little by little until the Knights were stuck with the crumbs on the bottom, and they took them just easy shoot down, right? Like Moses brought it up. It's a tough peak initially to come out and sort of look down, but once you're holding that spot, it becomes very, very hard for the teams below to be watching sort of that upper radius.
Martin, do you actually think Knights could have won that?
I feel like what we just saw on screen here with Texas initiating that spray down onto Team Ready, I feel like that's the game-losing moment for them. Because he had to do a 180, and he was not prepared for them coming over the top there. And his teammates, they were standing so far behind, kind of in the open, without any smokes and nothing to work with. And I really feel like, I mean, Knights could have won it, but I feel like the point where Texas initiated the kill onto Team Ready, which is your initial, it kind of had to be done. But if he didn't do it, I think he could have won the 1v1 there, and initially, instead of making it a 1v2, making it a 2v2.
Yeah. Well, I think the peak advantage belongs to the downhill team until they look away. Mm-hmm. So they had the peak advantage, but when they turned to Ready, Unique, to their credit, realized if they're shooting there, that's our chance. Because once the peak is established, the hard peak, then the huge advantage goes to the uphill team. So Unique really executed on that 3-second window.
Yeah. The kind of third-party moment.
Yes.
Even though it's not like a full-on fight, it's more like a third-party moment where you had like a window of opportunity to
Everything's
do it, right?
about timing in this game, and they made use of those couple of seconds.
Exactly.
Talking of timings, though, Toffees, you mentioned that Envy seemed to learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, so last time
game,
we called them out for pub rotations. This time, them and a Vengar were in their cars, ready to rotate early. But again, it becomes a cautionary tale of even when you're ready, even when you're trying to make aggressive rotations, if the spot isn't right, if you're not prepared to sort of defend it as a team, you go out in 15th place again. This has not been Envy's day. They seem to be really sort of struggling with where do they go, how do they fit into this 16-team land.
But it's better to do those sharp decisions than hesitate. So even though they did end up getting wiped by wildcard, at least they were a bit more sharp on the rotations. In the long run, that's going to benefit them.
And I mean, what I hear a lot when you talk to players about like how do I get better even just in a pub game, one of the big things is just do it, right? Stop hesitating, be the aggressor, take the peak, and get better. And you tend to win more than you lose when you play aggressively. So I would rather them play aggressive and get wiped than play passive and just bleed out. And I think that that's what they're starting to do.
I think something the teams would rather we didn't do as well is predict who's going to win, because I didn't ask for predictions before that one, and somehow, miraculously, Dignitas, they didn't have a bad game, did they, Avenger?
No, I mean, I'm going to stop jinxing them here, so I'm just going to leave them alone for the rest of the games. Not going to predict anything. But I want to say, so far, it's a 6.6% chance of hitting a chicken dinner winner, right? So it's not that high. But I do have the record of the most predicted chicken dinners so far at any panel you and me have been at. So
I don't agree with that until I see hard evidence. I think that's fake news. That said, though,
6 months ago, darling. 6 months ago.
I am going to give a little bit of an excuse. These North American teams are struggling, but they were also up till 5:30 or later this morning playing in the Wingman series. So some of them are most of the wildcard had 2. Dignitas had 2 teams in there, right? So like a lot of these guys who are struggling right now were up very late dealing with the jet lag thing too. So no excuses, but maybe tomorrow they come back a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
We have got the scoreboard ready and waiting for us to remind us of how the Giants fell rather early into that game. There you see ninjas in pajamas having a very quiet day one. We know, though, they can bring it back, right?
They don't do well on day ones. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Look at FaZe, though, second place, 15 kills. They end up coming, I think, was 6th or 5th place in that game?
5th.
But they end up coming second with all of the kills that they got, so they're going to be coming in really good in the leaderboard.
So many snakes here. Knights only 3 kills. Not snakes. Passive played until the late game. They didn't really have an opportunity because of the circle.
Yeah.
But Knights only 3 kills. Team Ready only 2 kills. Dignitas 2 kills. And then we come down to Wildcard and United that really made it into the top 7 because of the amount of kills, but not because of the placement.
Yeah, the teams that ended up on the mid-pack, that died in the mid-pack, was the teams that got the most kills, because that was the main action. North of Primorsk, the Forest, was the main action. That's why a lot of the teams that you see 6th to 9th place have the most kills.
I mean, United is actually 2 ranks higher on that board than they finished because of the amount of kills they're putting out. So that's working in their favor. Overall rankings right now, FaZe in a great position. And when FaZe is this strong in day 1, you start to really stress out about day 2 and day 3. So I think some of these teams need to step up and put the kibosh on the FaZe runaway right now.
37 kills in 4 games.
Right? That's banana Republic.
Yeah. Another thing I want to point out here.
Too. Right,
another thing I want to point out. Optic is the only team from NA in the top 10. Sorry, Team Ready is also half NA.
Team Ready's top is NA. They qualified NA.
I mean, they're full Turkish roster. I don't know if you really can classify them as NA, but I mean, they did play the NA League.
They qualified as NA, so
they did.
For all intensive purposes in this tournament, they're an NA team. That said, it's an unacceptable performance, and that's why maybe I'm saying some jet lag slowed them down, and they need to come in a little bit bigger going forward to tomorrow, or even the next game. The NA teams need to really sort of pick it up, and I do think 3 games on Miramar tomorrow might help them a little bit. They tend to do better on Miramar. Not today. For some reason, it's been a bad day for them, but they tend to do better on Miramar comparatively to the European teams.
Now, when we come back, I'm going to introduce a new segment.
Ooh.
Liquid Watch. Scoom has got some bracing feedback for his former teammates, and we're going to hear that very shortly. So do not go anywhere. Maybe grab a cup of tea. We'll be back in a few.
Пакебл?
Если что, потом вдвоем прыгаем.
Хорошо.
В конец зоны, один
Флешка.
стоит сверху,
Смотри,
ползет.
Сольник.
Найс.
Закрыл Сольника слева, нокнул.
Хорошо.
Я в сейве.
Поднимай.
Сольник остался.
Крыса,
Двоих
изи.
нокнули.
Спокойно, Васек.
Да!
Это изи, блядь.
Кулачок.
Mate, it works.